Okay, good morning guys. I'm going to give you guys a huge update. I'm going to walk around and show you what's happening here in the shop today. There's quite a bit going on, so we've got to get you all focused and caught back up, because like we always show you in these videos, we don't show you one car at a time, we show you several, and it gets confusing to some of you guys, but we're showing you the real part of a shop, not this so-called TV reality bullshit. We're showing you that shops work on more than one car at once. So let's see what we got going on here at the shop today. So the Charger, as you can see, the jambs are all painted. Jambs are painted. We're in here giving it a final block. We're going to fit the doors on it today. Doors are in the office. Then what we're going to do is, once the doors are fitted on, we are going to fit all the front sheet metal on it. Make sure it lines up good. Then we're going to pull it all back apart, and then we're going to send her out and have it painted. So as much as that sounds simple, that's not a one-day job. You know, we're going to be here for a couple days, a few days here. But the Charger will be painted, hopefully, and all assembled within the next 2 to 3 weeks, done, finished. I'm hoping 2 weeks. And of course, I'm already counting this week that's half over. Of course, that doesn't mean it's done. There's still lots to do. The Charger still needs a wheel alignment. It needs all the interior put in. It's missing every single rubber and window felt, and everything is missing on it. It needs glass. It's a long ways off still, but it does run, it does drive, and that's the good thing, right? Now, we've also got the Roadster body, which you don't see in here right now, but we've got the cowl over here. Now this was all new, it was all Brookville, but you can see I put little black marks. You know, things just come packaged. There's a little ding there in it. There's the deck lid. It seemed okay, but Dave will run his hand over it and just make sure that it is all right. And then we've got the door over here. You can see where I ran the black down there. Well, there's a bit of a dent down in the door here. Nothing major though. Nothing major. Nothing where you're going to be there for a couple hours playing with it. If you are, well, then there's something wrong with you. You better stop being a body man, right? So that's what's going on in this bay. Now there's some red Volkswagen parts over here. You might notice in the background. And they're off a 1980 Volkswagen, one of those little Volkswagen pickup things. We'll get into that in a moment. But right now we'll leave it. So let's go check out what's happening over here with the 29 Dodge. So like all vehicles should be done, we're just completely doing all the metal work and fitting everything over and over again and getting all that done until then we will start the body work on it. Steve's doing an awesome job. Now if I can get down here, this room is very crowded. You guys have been following this video, you probably know what's going on. So we took all the chrome off the cowling. You can see it's rusted in behind here. We got up into here, and it's all factory lead, and there's rust happening all along in here. So we'll get that out of there and actually replace it with metal. Now we'll get down below. The owners of the car, originally on a 29 Dodge, this would come down like an inch, maybe a little more, maybe an inch to an inch and a half maximum. They wanted to cover up some of the frame. They wanted to cover it up, so they had us make it longer. And of course, you know, Steve went with the contour of the body, so you can see how he's done the nice slope there. He's putting his patch in. He's got it going all the way along. And he's got the quarter panel piece, if you remember. He's got it joined in now. You can just barely see it up in this area here. He's joined it in. He's got it all finished off. And he's joined it onto that piece. So Steve is doing a fabulous job there. So we're hoping metalwork wise, we're hoping that this thing here is probably by the end of next week we'll have all the metalwork done. Now that does not include the floor. The floor, it still needs a floor, but we're not doing that yet. The plan is with this car is we're going to get the metalwork done. We're going to get it in first stage of body work, and we're going to put it in a primer. Then we're going to ship it back to the owners, and they're going to figure out what kind of engine and tranny and all that kind of bullshit they're going to run. Then they're going to get it mocked up in there. Then they'll bring it back to us, and then we can do the floor, because we don't know where the floor has to be and how it's got to sit until the engine and transmission are in. And apparently they've got 3 different choices of engines. I think they got a Cadillac, they got a Buick Nailhead, and they got a Hemi. Well, of course, it's a 29 Dodge. Go for the Hemi. Why wouldn't you, right? So you can see here we got some rust that's along here. You know, of course, this is how it came to us, looking like this, with nothing on it. So that's what's going on there. Steve is doing an awesome job. He's plugging away. He's getting at it. Look at this room of his. He's got you know this Steve guy? You know what's fun about him? And I say it jokingly because I love this guy. He's awesome. You know, he's just hilarious as hell. He fucking takes every tool in the shop. You go on this bench, anytime we're looking for something, all us guys are looking for something in the shop. We walk in here, we don't even go to the toolbox anymore because Steve's got it. Steve's always got all the tools. That's okay. He's hilarious. Okay, let's get outside here. Yes, we still got the 36 Ford here. We are still plugging away on it. I'll show you what we found here actually. We started stripping it here down because we're going to send it off for blasting. But we're stripping it down because the blasters, they take you longer and charge you more when it's full of body filler. Somebody went to all the trouble when they did this car back in the 80s to strip it to bare metal and then do the body work. Okay? But what the cocksuckers didn't do is look at the size of these fucking dents. This thing's got to be in a good 1.5 inches. Look at them all. And yet the strange thing is I can reach, if you can see my hand, I can reach in behind this panel and they could have all been banged out. I don't know, you tell me. I guess that's just how they did things back in the 80s. Because back in the 80s, maybe nobody gave a shit about cars back then. They didn't think they were that old. Who gives a shit? Let's mud it up. Maybe someone just didn't own a hammer and a dolly. But for all the money he spent on Bondo, he could have bought a hammer and dolly. But hey, who am I to judge? Okay, the 71 Challenger. 71 Challenger, Chris has got the engine in it. Now, the young guy that owns it, he just brought us a 318 that he had. So there's the engine. Chris got the engine and the steering in. He's got the headers on. Obviously, the brake fluid's here, so he's got all the brakes bled up in it. Now, remember, this young kid just brought us this car to get it up and running. And then he's going to take it from there. He's going to drive it. He says he's going to drive this son of a bitch every day. I says, really? He goes, I'm going to drive this car every day. He goes, I've always wanted a Challenger. Now, remember, it's a 74 dressed up to be a 70. He goes, I'm going to drive this car every day, and I'm going to have fun with it. He goes, and that's it. He goes, I saved my hard-earned money, I'm going to drive it. Now, he's not going to drive it out in the winter in the snow and the salt, but on a day like today when it's pissing down rain, he says he's driving it. He goes, I'm taking it to work. I don't give a shit. You know what? See that? Big thumbs up. Good on you. Drive that cocksucker. Why not? What the hell? What the hell, you know? Enjoy it. It's your money. Why leave it sit in the garage and be a trailer queen? Never let anyone else enjoy it. The Aussie. Remember the hood flew up. Did some serious damage. Well, there we go. The roof is all fixed. We've put it in a black sealer epoxy primer for now. That's all we're going to do there. We're going to get the windshield going in it next because the customer is going to bring us this back next winter, and he's going to have us do all the paint and body. So we got it running. We got the exhaust done. What we need to do now is we got a bad coil in the back, so we need to get coil springs in it. There's a little bit of floor patch work that needs to be done. We need a windshield in it. And then we just need to clean it up a bit, and we need to get all the switches for the power windows and get them working, and then this car is out the door. So hopefully this car is still here for at least another 4 weeks. The Challenger is probably here for another 2 weeks. Now here's the latest and greatest project sitting in the back. Look at this thing. GMC, I can't remember now if it's 65 or 66. I know these trucks like the back of my hand because obviously there we go right there. I've owned 1, I've owned 2, I've owned 3, fuck, I've owned 12, and I don't know how many I've done. So this guy brought me this one out. This one's a little different though. It's a crew cab. It's a crew cab, so he brought this out to us. He wants to go back to factory original green. For right now, he wants us to get all the welding done and get it in bodywork first stage only. Then he's going to take it home and he's going to swap out the engine and tranny and do all that kind of shit. And then he'll bring it back and we'll continue from there. So this is a huge job. This thing needs floors and he's got all the parts and pieces inside. But yeah, how often do you see these things in a crew cab? And look at here, it's kind of tight filming in here, but look at that big old son of a bitch. Holy God. Crew cab, 8-foot box. Yep. Big back window. Again, he's using it to tow his vintage trailer. He's not building a show truck. He's not going to be taking the frame in and getting it blasted or powder coated. He's just going to pressure wash the frame good enough, put his running gear in and drive it. Drive it like it should be. Now, over here on the Camaro, I am still plugging away on it. I think where I left off last time showing you guys a video, I was making this piece. I've got it all made. Look at that. We're looking good. We're plugging away here. I'm happy to be out welding and fabricating again. I love it. Like I say, I brought Steve in because we got so much work, we need an extra set of hands. but this is what I enjoy doing. So there we go. We're going to town on that side, as you can see. Come around the inside, and you can see I've also started. If I can get this to zoom in over there, I've got the frame rail attached. So now I'm into this corner here today. I'm going to get all this corner here straightened up today, get it all built up, get it finished up, get all the mounts that need to come off the frame rail, such as these little guys right here. I'm going to get all these off, get those attached back on the car where they belong. So I'm going to get all that finished up in the back end there today and done, finished. Then that's done. Then I'll decide where from there I'm going to go on to this car. But at least then I should be able to put it on the goddamn rotisserie. Okay, so it's pretty dark out because it is 6:30 in the fucking morning, because I decided to get started early here today. Because we're just getting swamped, but that's okay. So if you look over here in the pissing down rain, here is that little 80 Volkswagen I was telling you about. There it is. Now this guy bought it off the original owner in Oregon. The guy never drove it in the winter and always kept it in the garage. So that is it right there. It's too hard to bloody well see. Anyway, we got it all stripped down. This is going to be Dave's project to get the body on it. It's never been painted in its life. It's got absolutely no rust. It's just got a lot of dents. And the guy took a felt pen and he circled every bloody dent on that thing. I can't believe it. Not that it matters, because let's get back inside. Not that it matters, because it's all going to get sanded off. So, you know, it's all good. He went around, circled all the dents. He was trying to help out. It's always a good thing. Doesn't hurt to have an extra set of eyes. So that's what's going on with that. So we're going to repaint that one. He wants that thing to be arrow straight. I know some of you guys are like, what, an 80 Volkswagen? But I don't know. He wants it to be arrow straight. He goes, you know, there's no rust. He goes, so because there's no rust, I'm saving myself money there, so I may as well spend a little extra, and you guys get that body straight as you can get it. So hey, we'll do what we can do then. Anyway, thanks for subscribing. Remember, it's always a good time at old time. We'll keep you informed what's going on with the Camaro and everything else. The jobs are rolling in. We're going nowhere. We're having fun. Spring's almost here, so buy a goddamn beer cozy off me. Holy shit. Remember, it's always a good time at old time. See you next time.